Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we currently have a few repairs to do, but it's really not that bad. Let's go ahead and tick forward here and get those repairs completed. Now, I would like to at some point, we do have quite a lot of funds building up, I would like at some point to start thinking about getting another mech rolling. And the two mechs that I'm most likely to want to replace are the Awesome and the Madcap Mark II. So let's actually hop into the mech bay here, double check that everything is good to go. It is. So let's hop into our storage and see what we've got available for chassis. So the Madcap Mark II is basically in the same boat as the Salamander right now. It's just worse at the job, objectively. So let's hop into the storage here. And we do have some Annihilator parts available. I mean, we could ready an Annihilator. The quirks on that is just easy to maintain. For this one, yeah, easy to maintain. We've got the gunboat there, so... I mean, overall, the Annihilator is probably not going to be the best for that, although it could maybe theoretically replace the Awesome. The Awesome's running the dual heavy PPCs as well as the LRM-20. Hypothetically, what if we were to ready an AX Annihilator here? This has gunboat for +1 gunnery, -3% damage taken, tack immune. That's nice. And it is easy to maintain. Those are the unlockable affinities, of course. Hardpoint-wise, that's interesting. I'm going to ready this Annihilator. I don't really care which parts we choose here. We're just going to choose the cheapest ones. And there we go. So we'll get that done. That gets us that Annihilator. And I think this is going to be a replacement for the Awesome, but it's going to take time to get this online. So we're going to hop over to our mech bay here, and we're going to refit that Annihilator. And what do we want to do with it? Well, I'd like to have it be... No, this is the Boar's Head. What? I thought I had the Annihilator selected. My own fault, clearly. But, yeah, that's a little special. Okay, Annihilator. There we go. So, what do we want to put on this thing? I mean, I would love to have this be like dual heavy Gauss, and then something along... We actually do have a improved HDR on here. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the repair button and see what happens. Okay. Lots of heavy Gauss ammo. I doubt that we need this much heavy Gauss ammo, and heavy Gauss ammo does not explode, so the only reason to have case on here would be for the HGRs, but we can't get through armor criticals. So we'll just have to hope that we don't lose our armor. For now, we'll do something like this. I don't think we need 4 tons of heavy Gauss ammo. Let's see, the double ton is 10 shots, so this is 10 rounds of ammo. Like 10 turns of ammo if we have dual heavy HGRs. Or improved HGRs, rather. So if we were to do something like that, which we do have another improved HGR here. Now that's 130 damage, and it does have the recoil. But if we were to do that, we don't have an engine in this yet, and I understand that. But hypothetically, what if we were also to put in the heavy PPCs? We would need those to be kind of awkwardly located, but we could actually have both of them in this arm. I don't like having both of them there. I was actually hoping that one of these hardpoints would be in this arm. Alternatively, we could put it here. I mean, that's interesting, for sure. That does put us overweight. And what is the engine that this thing has stock? A 200? I mean, a 200 is not going to be moving very quickly. Let's take a look at what's available here. I mean, we could maybe run like a 360. I mean, this is going to be way overweight. I'm aware of that. That's definitely going to be way overweight. And then what do we have for heat sinks? +3 only? Okay. So if we were to run an engine heatsink +3, we would want to downgrade this to be an engine core 340. That would save us a little weight. For sure. I mean, this thing's got a lot of weight on it. There's no doubt about it. Absolute ideal circumstances, right? We would have something like a Clan LRM-20 to put in here. All we've got is the LRM-20 Zeus, and there's no way, I think, that we're going to get 10 tons for that. Not with this many slots used up. This would be absolutely ideal if this heavy PPC were in this arm, but I guess that's okay. And then we definitely want to run something along the lines of clan double heat sinks with the clan double heat sink kit if we have the heat efficiency. Now, our heavy PPCs are rough for that, for sure. We may have to run regular double heat sinks. That puts us at a heat delta of about 40. I mean, sure. We could do, I mean, this is getting heavier and heavier all the time. Absolutely. It's just getting heavier and heavier. This is pretty unrealistic, right? We're 50 tons overweight right now. So obviously we're going to drop the LRM-20 Zeus. That's not happening. We may put like rockets into this torso. I don't know. We'll see if we've got any weight budget for that. We could drop this double heat sink, and that puts us at a reasonable heat efficiency. A quite reasonable heat efficiency. I like it. And I want to check for some equipment here. Engine cooling. Yeah. Is there one that's just straight up, well, equipment? There's some of that. Okay, so with the equipment in here, we could put an IFF jammer in here if we wanted to. I'm not sure how super useful that would be. Lance sight might not be awful. But we would want an FCS that helps both Gauss and PPCs. So first thing we would want is probably to have like a clan cockpit if we've got one. There's a standard FCS clan here. We could run that just for the one additional gunnery. And then we'd want to run probably like a sensor recon. We could go for a sensor's range, actually. That might not be a terrible idea. We'll go for that. And then otherwise, just like gut support A and then gut support B. I don't know. That could work. Now, we're 37 tons overweight. There's no doubt about that. We could try to run Heavy Pharaoh. We require 3 additional slots for Heavy Pharaoh. Okay. To that end, we're going to back off the heavy PPCs, which probably allows us to back off the heat sinks as well. And it's so weird that you can't put anything in this arm, but okay. We're going to, instead of the heavy PPCs, actually, I want to see what we've got for weight with Heavy Pharaoh in here. Okay, 10 tons overweight, just like this. That's rough, being 10 tons overweight with just the improved HGRs. Okay, we could run an endosteel structure. That puts us 5 tons overweight. So we gotta back off the engines. Okay, sounds good. There's no real way around that, so that's exactly what we will do. We are going to back that off to, say, I don't know, a 250. That gives us 13 tons to work with. We could back off the endosteel as well. 8.5 tons. I'm just thinking about... Ooh, improved heavy lasers. That's probably better than the heavy PPCs for us anyway. What if we were to put in an improved heavy laser here and an improved heavy laser here? Now, our heat efficiency is absolutely in the toilet from that. Yeah, that's, I think, too much. It's a lot of damage. There's no doubt about it. Can we get away with putting in an endosteel? Do we have enough slottage? We do. We have 1 slot available. And I would love to just slot in 5 tons of heat sinks, but maybe we ditch the Heavy Pharaoh and go down to something like a clan ferrofibrous. That's a lot more slot efficient. That gives us about 3 tons to work with. So then we could slot in 3 double heat sinks. Do we have the slots for it? I don't know. So like 1, 2. We just have the slots to fit 3 double heat sinks in here. I would actually like one of them to be out in this arm. There we go. Something like that. Now our heat efficiency is still in the toilet because of the improved heavy lasers. That's pretty much always going to be a thing as long as we're running the 2 improved heavy lasers. Instead of the improved heavy laser here, we could just run a pair of medium lasers. That'd be a lot more heat efficient. And it wouldn't output the same damage, but maybe similar damage. Like broadly similar damage. And do we not have any ER mediums? Oh, we do, right here. So yeah, that would put out 60 damage instead of 80, but it would also only be 36 heat instead of the 67 that the improved heavy laser has. So something like that, and we would be able to... We still have tonnage remaining here. We would still be able to turn off 1 or more medium lasers here. What's our heat delta here? It's like over 20. So that is a bit rough. That is definitely a bit rough on the heat. Okay. Well, we could think instead about going to a slightly larger engine. Like, I mean, a 275 would probably be too much weight. Yeah, that puts us slightly overweight, but we do have a +1 heatsink cap, which means that we can put in an engine heatsink like that. Now, it doesn't help our weight situation, but it does help our heat situation a little bit. Alternatively, instead of running the ferrofibrous and endo steel, we could run an XL engine. Now, this is going to be expensive. Very, very expensive. Where are XLs in this? I know we've got XL engines. In here somewhere. Right? Surely we have XLs. Yeah, right here. So we could go for a Clan engine XL. This is going to be very spendy. Look at that. 6 million C-bills. Just like that. Now that puts us 1.5 tons overweight, but that uses up a lot less slottage there. So that's good. And then the endosteel structure Clan is actually the most efficient one there. That gives us 3 tons to work with. So, to that end, can we go to an engine heatsink +2? That's the question. Of course, we're going to need a larger engine to accommodate that. So a +2 heatsink cap is a 320. That's the best we've got. That puts us 2 tons overweight. So I feel like that's not really a great option. We should run a 275 for the engine heatsink +1. Like that. And then we should attempt to fit in an additional double heatsink for sure. And that should go over here. Slot-wise, we're pretty much out. And we have 2.5 tons remaining. This is actually quite complicated to get this mech set up. We could drop the improved heavy laser. But I want to run that. I do think that... Wait a second. Is this a time to use the variable speed pulse laser that we've been sitting on this whole time? Where is that? 9 tons, 3 slots, 90 heat. It's a lot more weight here. But if we drop the ER mediums and put in the variable speed pulse laser here, that puts us half a ton overweight. We can work with that. We can drop half a ton out of the legs. I'm fairly comfortable doing that. Like that. That would work. Now, this thing is expensive, but that's fine. Our heat efficiency is reasonable. If we need additional HGR, then that's fine. But our damage output is very high. I mean, 390 isn't tremendous, right? But that goes into just a couple of positions. Yeah, I like it. We'll do it. Now that is expensive. Very expensive. We'll get that going. And we'll feel out how that is working. If we have to tweak it, we can. But that's fine. So we'll get that underway. That's going to be 44 days before that guy's ready. So it's a good long time. Let's hop into the barracks and do any training that we need to. Muffin Top is actually still injured. We should tick forward one more day here. There we go. And actually, looking at the timing here, maybe we should actually work on a second mech. I mean, our funds are a bit low, but I'm just thinking we kind of don't have time for a mission getting started like 16 minutes into the episode unless I'm guaranteed going to break that mission in half, right? Like, that's kind of the way that math works out. So I think instead what we're going to do is we're going to look for a replacement for the Mad Cat. Now, to that end, we are probably going to need more funds to make that happen. That's fine. We'll hop into the mech bay as soon as RogueTech catches up with us here. There we go. Maybe. You good, RogueTech? I hope it doesn't lose that Annihilator. If it does, I'll recreate it off camera. But I don't think we're crashing, so that's fine. There we go. Now, what do we want to do here? I want to go through this, and I want to get rid of anything that is a vehicle. This weapons carrier goes away. Hopefully this isn't going to be a super lengthy process. Apparently it is a somewhat lengthy process. Yikes. This galleon, all 4 parts, they're going to go away. We have a lot of these. There's no doubt about it. So actually, maybe we should do this after we know for a fact that we have something to replace the Mad Cat Mark II and we're going to need the money. Or we could do it like I just get the Mad Cat Mark II ready to go and then I do this off camera when we're negative in cash. That's a possibility too. That is something that I could do for sure. There are these Ifrit parts here. I'm going to get rid of those for now. That's a pretty decent chunk. But we know that there's a lot in here that we can get rid of. We haven't done this in quite a long time. But I think for now, I'm just going to go through this. Can we get a Fafnir ready to go? No, we cannot. That's unfortunate. Let's see. What are Banshee's quirks? Rugged? Okay. If we compare that to the quirk of our Salamander, which is this guy here, accurate weapon missiles is really good, and that missile boat and missile mastery is so good. That's what we want for a replacement for the Mad Cat Mark II. The Mad Cat Mark II is ace pilot and multi-tracker and medium range accuracy, improved targeting medium. It's not as good. There's no doubt about that. So I would love to find something that has those missile accuracy quirks, maybe like a longbow or something. It might even be a little bit less tonnage. There's a Corsair here. That just doesn't have the hard points that we're looking for or the quirks that we're looking for. There's a Sorcerer here. That variant doesn't have what we're looking for, sadly. I wish that it did. Okay. Those are some pretty good affinities on the Tenchi. But what we're really looking for here is not that. Okay, so, I mean, there are these Emperor parts. Lasers. Okay, sure. That's a pretty decent affinity. Linesman is just for soaking damage. Sure. Pretty much the same thing for the Sunder. It's got that tuned engine, which is always nice, but let's take a look at these longbows here. So, anti-air targeting. Probably not that variant. Anti-air targeting. Anti-air targeting. Okay. Stalker is combat computer. And extreme range. Sure. And now we're starting to get into the lower stuff. I mean, there is another Salamander here. But we don't have the parts to put that together. If we did, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But no. We don't have that. So it looks like we don't really have what we would really want to replace the Mad Cat Mark II. Which is very sad. I want to have a second MRM boat like that. That would be absolutely ideal. We can get rid of this Shrek, I suppose. That'll be fine. But yeah, I really would like to find something. I mean, the longbows are okay. They've got the missile boat and the vector plotting, but they're really better with the indirect missiles. And the Stalker is better with LRMs. So yeah, that's just not really what we need. I don't suppose the store has a salamander part. That'd be weird if it did. But we may as well check. No point in not checking, in my opinion. Let's see here. Mechs. This is what we want. None of these are mechs. Okay, so that is not helpful. Fantastic. So with that not being helpful, I guess, do we just say that we're okay with the Annihilator, or do we want to just go in and refit the Mad Cat? Because I feel like the Mad Cat is just not living up to its full potential. Let's see what we've got here. I mean, I'd like to think about this a little bit. I do like this loadout, right? I just think that the targeting is the issue here. That's the primary issue. We've got the Artemis 4 missiles, or the Artemis 4 FCS rather, for the evasion ignore. I don't know. I think we're going to be hard pressed to get better than this. I really do. Maybe we can get an equip in here. I mean, there's the IFF jammer. Creates a low-level ECM field. I mean, we could do that. It's better than nothing, right? That's not the worst. It'll help the Mad Cat a little bit. We could give it a jump booster pack, but I don't think that's all that useful either, if I'm honest. So really, I don't think that there's all that much to do to the Mad Cat, and mostly that's because we don't really have a chassis that's well suited to replace it. I'm underwhelmed by the Mad Cat, but it's not necessarily the Mad Cat's fault. And the only reason I'm underwhelmed by it is actually because of the targeting on it. The Salamander has much better targeting, and that's because of its quirks. Yeah, we don't have a better MRM40, so okay. We'll just do this and tick forward one day, and I guess we'll call that good. I'm pretty unsatisfied with the Mad Cat Mark II, but that's okay, I guess. The Annihilator, I think, will be a solid replacement for the Awesome. It'll be functionally similar to the Mauler, except that the Mauler has HGRs, and this will be IHGRs. And we've got the variable speed pulse laser in this Annihilator. So this guy is going to do some damage. There's no doubt about that. I'm also a little bit underwhelmed with the Corsair. I would like to think about maybe doing something different here. So let's actually hop in here. We've got a little bit left. And I'd like to think about what else we could do here. What am I underwhelmed with in the Corsair? Well, I feel like it's the laser hardpoints, actually, that are fairly underwhelming. Yeah. I feel like it's the laser hardpoints. The light Gauss rifles also don't do that much damage. I would like to think about maybe something else there, but we don't really have the weight to upgrade those to like M7s or something. That'd be great if we did. What is the weight of a light Gauss? 12? So in order to upgrade to like to M7s, we would need to get a fair amount more tonnage. 6 total tons. Yeah, 6 tons would be kind of hard to come by. And we've only got the one M7. This is another mech that's on my list of mechs that want a bit different of a loadout. But I don't know. Maybe we want to replace the Corsair with a different chassis. But right now, I think that Annihilator is going to do a fantastic job. Like, it's going to be the Mauler on steroids, pretty much. It's going to hit harder than the Mauler does right now, and I think a little bit more reliably, I hope. The Mauler has had some good hits, though. There's no doubt about that. So I'm reasonably content with the Mauler situation. The Battlemaster is... There's a reason it's our backup mech. It hits a lot. Like, it doesn't have a problem with hitting. It's that its damage output just isn't amazing. But yeah, the Annihilator is intended to replace the Awesome, and it is going to be reducing our indirect fire a little bit. So that is something to be considering. And we would also like, eventually, to replace the Orion. Actually, a Stalker would be a good choice for that. So that's something we could certainly do. Right? We have a Stalker available? I think we do. A Stalker would be just a flat upgrade on the Orion in theory. This is already past where the Stalker would be. There'd be the Sorcerer there. Yeah, that's not really what we'd be looking for. Stalker is what, an 85 tonner? An 80 tonner? I thought a Stalker was a 90 for some reason. I have that in my head. What is it? I know we have Stalker parts. I don't know if we had a full Stalker. Yeah, it's right here. 85er. Okay. So there's that. We don't have the ability to get a Stalker ready to go. But we could get a longbow. We definitely could get a longbow in here. Right? Oh, actually we can't. We only have 3 longbow parts. For some reason I thought we had more. Huh. Well, we'll have to be on the lookout for longbow parts as well. The Orion is just a little bit small, right? At this point, there's 25 more tons that we can work with. So that's also on the list of mechs that I want to upgrade. The Black Knight, Hector, and Wolverine pretty much only exist for lighter mission requirements. And we're basically never going to use them in standard missions. So yeah, pretty much I'm reasonably happy with that. The Battle Master is our backup mech. The Awesome is going to be relegated to being a backup mech as well. The Annihilator is going to take that slot. I would like to upgrade the Madcap Mark II to either a second Stalker, or rather a second Salamander, or something along those lines. But for now, we'll leave that be. The Mauler is going to be joined by the Annihilator, and the Corsair I'm in the market for a replacement for, but I'm not sure what we want to do with that just yet. The Orion I absolutely want to replace, but we don't have the parts that we need to really make that happen. So I think that is good. I'm glad we got that sorted out. I've definitely been meaning to do this for a while, and I felt like this is maybe the time to just take an episode and address some of those mechs. So it's unfinished, right? We're not done, but the Annihilator is going to be a solid upgrade, and I'm pretty pleased with that. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, I promise, we'll actually deploy. That will be a thing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.